Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the trampoline on your Hobie Cat 16. Mine's starting to rip out right here, so before that completely goes, I want to make sure it's taken care of. So for this job, you're going to need a new trampoline for your Hobie Cat. You're going to need new lines to lace up the trampoline with. These are the Dyneema race lines. They're a lot thinner and they also don't stretch. You're also going to need a knife to trim up the lines with and a torch to burn off the ends. The first thing you're going to want to do is unlace the old trampoline. You can start just by taking out all the lines and then you can pull it out from there. Alright, well now that the trampoline is completely unlaced, I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of the sliders in the front, the forward part of the boat. You can also go ahead and just remove the aft strap. Alright, now that I have the front of the trampoline pulled out, there are some flared grooves in the channels that the trampoline slide into, and you can take and you can slide out the trampoline through those channels and just pull out the trampoline from there. Alright, now that we have the old trampoline removed, we're going to go ahead and start by putting the new one back in. It's exactly the same, only in reverse. We're going to start by putting the rear strap back in the aft beam. Alright, so now that we have the strap in the aft beam, we're going to go ahead and put in one of the third pieces on the side beam. Alright, well, that's a huge pain in the ass. You just gotta have to keep working it. You have to start it, slide it in as far as you can initially, and then just keep poking it into that kind of flanged area along the sliders for the trampoline. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to slide it into the front, the forward part of the trampoline crossbar, and then that side should be done. So now that side's done, I'm going to do it again on the other side. Same process, just for the other piece. So this is turning out to be a much greater pain than I had initially anticipated, at least for this other side. It's a really tight fit. What I'm having to do is basically use this rubber hammer and the wooden end of it to use it as kind of a press to kind of get that rope to seat into the slot so that the trampoline can slide down the groove. And it's just really slow going. Alright, well that was just an absolutely enormous pain in the ass. This is an aftermarket trampoline. It's custom made. I bought it on eBay, and I think that's probably the reason I'm having so much trouble getting it to slide down that seam, because it's just so unbelievably tight. But using this rubber mallet, I was able to poke it in there and really just kind of stuff it into the groove and then slide it down. I was only getting it to go maybe half an inch to an inch at a time. It's just an absolute pain. That's the word for it, I believe. So anyways, it should be smooth sailing from now on. Alright, I got the trampoline in the side and front rails of the frame, so now we're ready to start lacing it up. So you want to know how to tie a couple of knots in order to do this project. The first knot is called the Bowline Knot. Basically what you do, you go up and through whatever you're going to tie off to. In this case we're tying off to a grommet. You're going to make a loop like that. Then you're going to bring this line over that loop, wrap it around, come up through the hole, and then down through this loop. So when you tie it off, what you get is a loop that doesn't slip. It's really common sailor's knot. It's not a slip knot. A second knot you'll need to know how to tie is a figure-8 knot, and that's really simple. You just make a loop, cross over, go underneath the rope, and then back through the loop on the other side, and then you have a figure-8. The last knot you'll need to know how to tie is a half hitch, and this is the knot you use to tie off all of your lines. So you make a loop through the grommet, you cross over the line, come back through. That's the first half. And then you cross over, and then you go back through and make another loop around again. And you can do as many of these as you want, right? You can do 3 or 4. And that's going to tie off the rope. Alright, so now that I have the trampoline in, I'm going to go ahead and start lacing it up. I'm going to tie a bowline knot up there in the corner, and then it just laces all the way down. Alright, well now that I've got the center part laced up, I'm going to cinch up the back here before I cinch everything down. Alright, so to start this off, there's a hole here on the pylon, and you're going to want to tie another bowline knot there. With the regular rope that comes with this, not the race line, you just use a figure-8 knot here. But in this case, since this rope is so thin, it won't actually hold up against that, so I'm going to use a bowline knot in this case. I'm just going to start. You're going to start by wrapping around to this grommet. Here. And then you're going to go the grommet here, and then back, and then back again to this grommet. And then you can start from there. once that's laced up, you can just leave that for now and start it on the other side. It's the same concept on the other side. You're just going to tie a bowline knot off to the pylon here and then lace it up the same way. Alright, so now that I have all my lines laced, I'm going to go back through and I'm going to cinch down the middle section and tie that off, and then I'll cinch down the back sections here and tie those off afterwards. The easiest way to cinch down the trampoline is from underneath, because you're not putting your weight on top of it. So, yeah. Alright, so that's nice and tight. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tie it off. So I'm going to loosen these up. Not loosen them up, but I'm going to untie them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double up this strap here to the cross piece in the back. So I'm going to go down through this grommet. And then back through this grommet. I'm going to cinch that down. Then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to go across and go down through this grommet. And across to this side. And back up through. And back down through this grommet. That way I have a nice cross-laced pattern there that's pulling on the trampoline from every direction. Now that I have that done, I'm going to tie this off with a couple of half hitches. And I'm going to go through, I'm going to do the same thing. And then there's a center grommet here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to tie this through the center grommet. I'm going to go down through, and I'm going to come back up through this grommet. And I'm going to try to cinch this down a little bit more. That should be plenty tight. Now I'm going to do a couple more half hitches on this one. Alright, now that I've got these two sides done, I'm going to finish off by doing this one here, and that should be about it. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the other side, where I pass through this center grommet and back up through this other side here. Then we go through and cinch these up again. Alright, now that I got that about as tight as it can get, I'm going to tie this off. A couple more half hitches. And there you have it. You have a nice, tight trampoline. For these hiking straps, what you want to do is take them and go through 2 separate grommets here, and then tie them off underneath here with a square knot. One last extra measure I'm going to do. I'm going to go through and tie a few more half hitches on each of these, just so that there's no opportunity for it to come undone. So the last step in doing this is to trim up these excess lines and then burn off the ends so that they don't fray. So I'm just going to use a box cutter. I'll leave myself a little slack here. Cut that off. So now that I have the ends cut off, I'm just going to burn them up a little bit with the torch so that they don't fray off on me. Alright, there you have it. One brand new trampoline, all laced up and nice and tight. Hey guys, thanks for bearing with me through this project. It was a little more complicated than I was expecting originally, but I kind of worked through it. If you have any questions about this, you can drop those in the comment section below. I'll answer those as soon as I can. Also, subscribe to our channel if you like the content we're putting out, and watch some more of our videos. Thanks.